Hi, hello. This is Pixel Crazy here. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on the time or where are you connecting to. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. One of those should work. So, last week we worked on setting up the mech in like what I like to call the final phase. So right now, what we'll do on this stream is we'll start working on adding details and finishing the exact design. And like I said before, right when we were designing, this design might not look exactly like the one we drew, because ideally what we want to do is change it and make it its own thing. So, and like it happens on many type of content, the first design is almost never the final one. So we'll start working on that, but I'll make some time just so that more people can join. Basically, I did post a small video this week on my YouTube that was not about Lego building. It was about a mobile game I'm playing, which is Fourth Division. And it was just fun because this was something that I had some information just by playing the Japanese version of the game, and I wanted to try to add some information to global players that could be useful in their planning. And yeah, basically just added that. That's fine. And regarding the Lego build that we're going to do today, I did have some ideas that I wanted to implement, and I did some like mock builds of what I wanted, and I ended up knowing almost which type of pieces I needed for like the very few changes that we're going to do today. So in theory, the first part should go pretty smoothly, right? And after those changes, I'll show a bit of the sword build, right? And with the sword and everything here, I've decided to go with a small change on the design. It's not huge, it's not big, but I hope you'll like it. And it's all about checking it during the building process. Okay. Today's music, I went looking for music that would go well with the stream, and one of the things I came by was remixes of old NES games, and the first two songs are from Chrono Trigger, and I think you'll see another from Metroid and Zelda. They're around those. I really like those remixes, and hopefully you like them too. And I think that's it. I think we can start working on some other builds. But quick side note. Yes, I've started to work on the instructions. It's going to take me a bit more because I'm not going to do them digitally. I'm just going to take pictures of how I built them step by step. That's how I usually build instructions. I've sold like 2 models in the past, and that's how I made the instructions for those before. But I do add like which type of piece it is and link to the bricklink page, so it's not that bad, hopefully. And that should be, hey, in short, like a short amount of time. I will give it a month until you'll see the instructions available to purchase. Hopefully you like it, and if you like it, I'll keep making instructions, and that way I can help you try to build some of the other designs that I've made, right? But again, most of the builds you'll see on the stream will not have instructions. The only way you'll be able to know how they were built was joining the streams, right? Like this Joker. This Joker will not have any instructions. The only way you'll see how it was built is just joining the streams. So, be my guest. Let's continue building today's step. So, I took apart the shoulder pads and the blade just so you can see what we're going to start working today. And basically, let me just put my keyboard, because I have a wireless keyboard here, which is what I use here. Okay, so one of the few changes that I want to implement today are I'm going to redesign the head completely, well, almost completely. So I'm going to take it apart real quick. I have some ideas of how I can make a better shaped head, and so for that I'm going to rebuild almost this entire piece completely. I think I'll only leave the main connection. And regarding the build of the body, I'll add some, I think I'll change the knees, right, and add some details on the feet that will be different. What I also do is try to start working on the cod piece. Add some volume on this part. I wanted to add some volume here, and I think I'll probably make the arms a bit longer. And the other thing I wanted to discuss about what I wanted to change on the design. So this side will have the cape or the cloak, which is made of blades, but I decided not to have the arm be detachable, and I'll design something that would carry the sword. Like on my inspiration in Rathmetal from Guild, there's like a small demon carrying the sword. I'll try to come up with something like that, like a small mech that's attached to the shoulder on this side. And basically what you'll do is it will carry the sword this way when it's on hold, and then it will detach itself and fly around with the sword. That's what I'll do with this design, and I'm comfortable with that idea. So let's start working on it and see what we can change. So first things first, I'll work on changing the knees, and I'll show you in a minute why I'm doing this change. Because right now it has like a blocky 2x2 plates on the side, and if you look at it, if we are starting or if we add plating to this, basically what we'll do is it will start to look like way too blocky on the knees and go back, and so the shape is not like all the way through. And for that I've decided to make one change, right? I'm gonna take apart this blocky 2x side piece, and I'm gonna go back to the first design idea that I had, and that means changing this back to the blue 2x2 plate here. But the change, or what I'll do now, is I'll add this, which are single one stud side plates, and I'm going to add that. Those are the ones that start from the top, and I'll add two, one going each side at the back of this part. What that will do is basically it will cover the knee, and we can add a small amount of plating here. For example, let me try with 2 gold plates. I have them separated here. So these 2 gold plates, if I add them here, that's Gerudo Valley from Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, or the remix. So with this small plating, we're covering the hole that's been behind the knee, and it allows the leg to go backwards, right? And you can bend the knee while still having some coverage. And the other thing I want to show you is look at the shape. It starts from this width, which is at the top, and it just goes this without adding too much volume here, which is kind of what I wanted. So the other change I decided to go is I'm gonna remove this light gray from most of the build, but I'm gonna keep some parts in light gray. I'll show you what I'm planning to do. But first, let's replace this light gray parts with black parts. Okay, so that's basically the first change. Now, what I mean is, what I mean about replacing the light gray, I'm not taking out completely. So I'm just not going to use it here. What I'm trying to do is I try to go with the gradient theme, right? And for that, I'm going to replace this gray plate here with one of the slopes that we took out. I'm just going to put a 1x1 blue brick or plate here and replace that here. What that does, it creates a curved shape all the way here from here. So it continues the curve. And once we do another change that I want to do here, for example, on this piece, we'll go and add this tooth, like in the super bright green. We'll add it here and add a single stud, a single golden stud here. And we add another golden plate there. And with that, we're adding more shape to the leg compared to this one. Like, this one was too simple. You can see the difference. Now, we can add even more details by adding another golden plate here at the back of this. And this also allows it to stand better, and I'll explain to you why. This is one of the reasons why I want to make a change. Basically, this too wide, with the two plate builds, two plate of width here, breaks this part, and with the extra brick length here, this allows this to have a better grip when standing. So basically, if I added the other leg and fixed with that fix, it stands much easier. Even if the legs are small still, now it's much easier to stand on its own, because we have made some changes on the holdings here. So as a stability and a design change, it works great in my opinion. So let's start replacing that. The same thing on the top. On the head, since I'm going to start, I'm going to do like a rebuild. I know on the rebuild I want to do, I'm not going to use these two black pieces, so I'm going to take them for the other leg. And let's do the same process that I did for the other leg. By the way, how are you? How was your the rest of the weekend / week? Have you been enjoying yourself? I think that's lost wood from Ocarina of Time as well. So again, basically, take out the two plates and replace them with a 2x2 plate. I'm using light pink here, and two of the single stud side plates. Let's start from the top, and let's go back to adding this here. And let's add the golden plate, covering this part. And let's replace this two gray with the black ones, right? You can get out the pieces that I'm not using, so I can have some room to share. And let's put this back. Now, again, let's take out that single gray plate, and again, one single slope in the light gray with a light pink stud. And on this one, with again the light green and the single 1x1 stud. And let's add it on this part, and again on the back a single stud, again in golden. And you'll see in a minute what this change does, right? So basically what it does is, if you put the legs down, the holders, or the base. It allows the mech to stand by itself real quick, and it's not the best balance, but you can sustain a bit of wobble, and that's only by this change that we made on the legs. It allows to do that. So it's a small change, but a quite powerful one, if you ask me. Now, back to the going to the back legs. Remember, I remember saying that we're going to add some gold gribbling here at the back, right? And for that, let's go back to a single 1x1 clip, golden clip, and add a single 1x1 round stud with the plate without any stud at the top. And with that, we have this, right? And we'll just clip it in the middle here, and it kind of completes a golden look right at the back of the knees. That's gonna give it a cool look. And let's move upwards. I'm gonna take out this light gray and we're gonna replace it with a dark gray, so I can continue this color, and I'll show you why in a minute. Right? And I'm going to add this. This is just gribbling, so I want to use a different shape piece, so that's why I'm using the 2x2 with the round plating here. I'm gonna put it right here, and for that I would probably use a 3x2, but I'm gonna use that 2x1 here, so I can add some small details here later, like in this part. So for now I'm gonna keep it that way. And for the side parts, for now I'm gonna just put 2 of these thick clips that have the open stud at the side. That's not stud, it's more like the bar. Okay. So with that, we're adding a bit more gribbling on the center part. Like I wanted to show you on the arms, what I did, basically what I want to do is, since I'm adding like this light gray here at the tip, I'll add some of that here as well. So I'm basically adding this, which is going to add color. But knowing that it has like golden and gray, I might want to try something. Let me see if I can find the pieces. I didn't get that. That's something I just looked out, and I think it's gonna look good. So give me a sec. I'll find the pieces. That's a remix of the stage selection from Super Smash Bros. Okay. So let me get this right. If this, I think it's gonna work great. So instead of using this black clip here, why don't we add some detail that's the same as the leg and have the gold combined with the light green, sorry. And for that, let's just take out all the clips and replace them here with this. And with this, we have a sleeker looking arm. And let me change this perhaps with a black plate instead of a gray one, since we're taking the black out of the hand. And while we're at it, why don't we add a single stud here as an extension of the arm length. A single golden stud that will add work as a detail as well. This stud is just too, it doesn't have much friction, so let me try another one. So now, this is like the look of the arm. It has some golden, some light gray, but still black and gray with the coloring. And I think that gives it a nice look. Okay, so now let's do the same with the other arm. And let's take out this part of the arm. first off, let me try the golden single stud. Yeah, this has friction. It's here. It's going to still be attached. I think I might need to change this clip. This clip here, this leg, this adds very little friction here, so I might have to replace that. But I'll search for that and replace it off camera. It's not important. So again, take out the fingers, replace the black part with the golden part here, and replace the black. Or what about if we keep this gray and we change this plate in black? Let me find a 3x3 black plate. I'm just testing things out. After all, this is all part of these details design. Just going through some pieces and seeing if they work, if they not, and seeing if the change is actually viable or not. Okay, so I got 2 black plates in case I want to replace both. I can do that. So let me do now. Let's take out this and replace the gray plate for a black plate. Same length, 3x2. So we have the pink here. And have this here. Now let's just add some gold on here. So sorry, some light green to the golden. And if we add this back to the mech, I think. Which one do you like more? I think I like more the black one instead of the gray one. I like this one more a bit. Well, let's just, I can leave it for a minute. While I think about it, I can just look at it while I'm working on the parts, and whichever I choose, I'll just replace the other arm with it. But I'll keep eyes on it. Now, other changes, I want to add more volume on this parts so that it can feel more bulky like the one on the drawing. That one I do want to change. But what I want to do is I'm going to try to follow this. So it has the light pink here, and that's why I want to add like a light pink brick or the stud, and then add another one here of this same color. So it has this like bulkier shape. And it will end up looking like this. So it's a bit bulkier, and I think it looks better for the neck coverage, right? And let's do the same with the blue, right? Same. I'm just adding bulk here. Okay, so this stud, either it doesn't have enough friction or something is pushing it out more than it should. It does have friction, so I don't know exactly what it is. But it's something I might want to check, because if that's the whole connection, I might end up replacing this whole part here with a different type of build. And I'll show you one, but I have to find 2 studs with holes in them. I think I have them in black, not in gold. Like this one, right? So if I use this, let me find a clip with a stick coming out, or like a finger part in black. And what I could do is I could just do this, add the pin right through the middle. If I take this out, and I'll just replace this entire thing completely, and add this here, it should go through this hole and give it a way more sturdy connection. Let me just try that. So it's not gonna be that long because the ball joint here is also using the space in the middle here. So what I could do is just push this at the back, and it will connect it and make it sturdier. And I can just cover it with this plate. We could probably add another stud here at the bottom, and it will look even better. So for now, let me just try to see which one is the best solution. I think this one is a winner. Let me try to find another one for the other arm. Okay, I still have to find the stud that will go to the other arm. Only 1 second. I cannot find the piece. I found one, so this is the one. So same thing, same process. Clip goes through the hole, and I'll be replacing this part here with that, like so, right? And this will go through here, and I'll just secure this here. With that, we're making progress on the design wise on the type of build that we want. Okay? And next, I think we're going to just rebuild the head. This is for the fun part, because the design I have in my head will be quite different. So first, we took out these plates that were here this way. And we're going to take that out, and let's take everything out. This is the part that we're going to keep, which is basically the neck and the base of the head. The rest, what I'll do is, let's take out the sides, let's take out the top plating, and let's take out this part, like the side tooth in gold. And also this one by one, and let's put this right here. I'm using light gray, light blue, light green. I don't know why I keep calling it light gray, light green here. And this is what I'll attach directly to this round shape. What I wanted to change here is, instead of using this tooth to add the face shape, I'm gonna add a different type of build completely. And for that, let me get one of these in silver and put it at the bottom here. So I'm acting like a chin of sorts. Like I had it before in black, but I want to keep it in black because I want to restructure the head. It's one stud shorter down. So what we want to do with that is, basically, with this space, I'm gonna go back to using a single stud, a stud that has a pin in just two sides, and the two sides next to each other, right? And with that, I can actually build a cover here at the head. But next, let's just attach single studs in gold here at the bottom to add volume. We're adding volume here, and I'm going to add this piece. It's a fun thing to add because it's basically the tooth in light green. We're gonna add them in, like this. It would be the place where they're going to be added. It's just adding volume and color, right? But the way to attach them is they're going to be these parts are going to be here, like so, right? So let's just attach them at the back part of each of the black covers and put them at the top, like so. Basically, you add more volume while adding some shape and color. And now let's go to the side buildings. So the side buildings, I'm gonna take apart almost completely because they're too, I don't know, I think long, or I don't like the shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace them with this, which is I found this in golden, which would look much better. And the single stud that we found before, I'm actually going to put it on the top and put this at the bottom, right? And I'm probably going to keep using this, the 3x1 plate. I'm going to put it here at the top, this one. And it gives it, in my opinion, a better look, because if you attach it, you can still move it below, and it still looks like proper, like much better way. And let's do that with the same process with the other side. So we have this. Let's take this out, and let's just put it again with the new coloring and plating. And it's going to go this way, right? So you can go back a bit more. It's starting to look this way. What can I add to add more shape? I was thinking about here at the top, I can add this 2 plates with a single hole on the top, and we can add, I was thinking perhaps not horns, but some like these 2 studs will add a bit of volume here. And this single stud at the top, let's add another plate of this ones, because I like this one because they're not like quite straight, so they have a small curvature, so it could work perfectly, and you can actually move it a bit forward, right? And the cover could work this way. So in theory, the head is starting to look better in my opinion. Now let's talk about what can we do about the sides. How can we cover them? So let's go back to this. Let me work on the blue side. So first things first, I was thinking, since this doesn't have anything to cover here at the very top, instead of going like this and forward, why don't we use this single stud in the middle with this and pin it in the hole this way? This way we can actually build a bit up and keep adding shape forward, like something like this. So if we add a tooth part, it can actually work as a side cover of the face, and it could add volume and shape that's going to be a bit forward. So what I could do is, I think I have a black one, so let me try this. What about, no, let me take another black one of those and put this here. I could put that here as well. We're going to be adding like a shape that's moving forward, and if we put this down here, we're basically adding like a side coverage to the head. In my opinion, it looks good. And let's use the same blue part and just cover it here. But I think we can do better. What if instead of leaving this space up, we move it down this way? And if we put it again, same with the pen, now we're adding the volume right beneath this, the head mount. And what we could do is at the bottom, why don't we add a different shade of blue, sorry. Single plate, 1x1. And it can start covering the neck area. But there's some space here that we can fill. I'm thinking I have this part. I was thinking of that part, adding it here at the back. Like so. Let me take out this top part and we'll add it this way, so it looks like this. see it. And if we add it at the top, by the way, sorry for not uploading the last VOD. I had some problems again with the connection. I left it uploading at night, and when I came back home, it just didn't load. So that's coming. So I'll work on uploading the past session and this session on YouTube next. So and that should be up soon. But you can still check my VODs on Twitch if you need some reference. Okay? Now let's do the same thing with the back. You can have it built here. Again, so this single 2x1 stud, this 1x2 slope, and same in black and pink. And let's add it here at the bottom. Just add the tooth here and this part here at the top. Right? And let's put it the same way that we did on the other side. So it's straightforward. And now we have something that looks like this. It still has some stud heels on the back that we can work on adding some details. I'm gonna work and perhaps add some details in a minute. But let's just plug it into the body and see how it looks. Let's connect the pen right here. As you can see, it has a pierced look. Or we can just move this up like that. If we want to, we can work on the move it and give it the shape we want. So now it's starting to have a different look. You can also change this part and go all gold if we wanted to. Let me try that. So this stud is the one that would have very little friction. So let me just replace that for another one. I think it looks good in gold as well. So let me try to keep it that way right now. And this detached. Attach it again, real quick. And how about this stud? We put just a simple plate right now as a holder. We can add more details later. Okay, I kicked the lamp with the camera on it, so that's not good, but it happens. What I'm thinking about adding here, because the head itself is nice. How about we add some details here at the back? Just we want a small gold plate, and I think I have some slopes here in black. And we can add just as fillings. It's a simple coverage for now. It can be done much better. I didn't find this parts, and I have to replace them still. Let me check the music because it went out. 1 second. Okay, so it's back now. Sorry about that. Keeps asking me. Well, I'm just using YouTube as a source of my music. Keeps asking me if I'm still listening. So it has a better shape in general. So let me try adding the shoulder plate. Cover it. It's starting to have a nice shape in general. I'm not totally convinced about these studs. You could just replace them with just plates. I'm just trying to see. in its stand. See how it looks. So this is how it looked on the side. I'm quite happy about how it's looking right now. Okay, so we're working on gradients on not just the colors, we're also on the black. And let me see what else can we add. So like I said, I want to add something here at the top that will work as an attachment to the arm. And I'm thinking about, have some pieces here, let me just take out, which should work. Have something like this. It was the old part that I used for the head. Just the brick with studs on all the sides. How about if we add something like, I'm thinking right now. What can we add to add shape? Oh, I'm gonna go once. I probably can use this too. It's quite practical today. I think we're facing some vacations, or there's some vacations this week here where I live. So it's quite super quiet on the city this week. I don't know if it is the same where you live. Okay, so let me try this. So if I add like studs here, single studs to add volume, I can probably add something or make something look cool. Okay, I'm just searching for any colors of the parts, just to try. But let's keep some type of resemblance. So let's put the two blacks on the sides and the gray ones at the top and the bottom. And what I'm thinking is, I can't find the pieces. I think I separated them, and I perhaps put them on my little bag of pieces. One of the weeks before. What I want to try to add is like a spherical shape. Again, this is just a test, it might not end up looking like that. Okay, let me try with this. This is not the piece that I wanted exactly, but we will have to do for now. Because the piece I want is basically this one. That's the curved one that's on the chest. What I'm trying right now is to test the volume, test if the spacing that I gave is enough to do what I want to do. Which is basically something like this. Cannot find the piece. Sorry for the long break in silence. I'm just concentrating on trying to find the piece. Okay, let me try and see if this works. I'm gonna put this. So the spacing is correct in a sort of way. Look, it's looking like the spacing could work. No, it's too. It works depending on the type of position, which is incredible. Could work like something. I'm thinking of different type of shapes I can add, right? Okay, so if I put a single plate 2x2 with a single stud here, the shoulder, and add some volume to it, like this, I can perhaps make it attach. And now I have to have some volume here, but in theory, it could work like something like this. So ideally, this will carry the sword, and it will allow it to float with something like a thruster. And it will be something like a small bot carrying the sword, like this. But I wanted to attach the shoulder, so it can look like this, something like this, like this. So this bot attaches to the shoulder. But I'm thinking about how doing that correctly. That's my current planning process. It cannot be totally detached from the arm because the sword is quite heavy. So if I put something like a hinge here, it probably go down. And what I want is to be able to hold the sword, or I want to be able to hold the sword like this. So it's going to be a bit farther from the arm, and it can move in different shapes. Or not shapes, perhaps in different positions. So something like this. Let's see if it holds. It's too curved, but something like this. Something that's attached to the shoulder, and it can hold the sword in that position. But it can detach completely, so it can handle the sword on its own. I'm thinking about what can I do about it. It has to be rigid, right to the arm, because otherwise the weight of the whole thing will just not allow it to attach. And even so, I think the weight might be too much just as it is. So I'm thinking about which type of piece. So I did find one piece of the ones I was looking for, which is this. And ideally, it would be a piece of one of those on each side. What I'm thinking about is the piece I want to try and find is I found it. Just wanna it was in the back. So perhaps this piece here could allow me to attach it at the back of the top. So if I put it this way, and see if that's enough. If I give some extra, something extra, perhaps it can work. Thinking, what can I do about this? So something like this kind of works. I don't know if you see it. So it holds the whole thing, and it allows the arm, but it's not too strong, so to speak. So I'm thinking something like this. Can you see it? So it's holding the sword, and it still has the shape, and it's attached to the arm, and you can just simply take it out, and it will float. So I'm thinking about the best way to do that. Or making this still look a tad better. Thank you. If you have an idea, just let me know. Oh, I made it. I was planning on showing you how I built it, because that one I built outside the stream. I'll show you real quick how I built it. It was part of the plan. I just wanted to make a bit of advance on the mech first. I built it, I think, on last stream. So I'll show you real quick how I built that. So if I do something like this, it will be like a small drone. Like this. And having this connected at all times here as a connection point. Couldn't work. But I'm thinking of how I do attach it better. For example, if I do this and I put it here, it's still going to need still too much. So ideal for it to work, it would have to be something. I'm thinking. Perhaps this brick. Hey, don't worry about it. I'll show you, that's fine. I'll show you how I build this sword on this stream. Just let me try to finish this connection, and I'll show you real quick how I do that. It's actually quite an interesting build. So if I do this connection, right, I'm basically allowing it to connect here on this plate, on the understud, and on this, which will give it quite a bit of strength. Okay. Yes, I was just searching for this particular brick because it allows this one doesn't give enough space for the stud to connect here, so I was searching for that one that's a bit but yeah, cobalt, that's exactly what I what I was thinking. Yeah, so it attaches to the back here, so now it's just about adding some gribbling here, but in theory it allows for this small drone to have this cover come up, attach here, and this one attached to the sword, something like this. So I have a basic connection to the arm and a drone, which it's an advantage. It's just about perfecting, perhaps searching this piece in black and adding some coverage here, which is what I'm trying to see if I find a better way to do that. Oh, I do have one of those in black, so I do have that in black. Let's see what can I do to add a better shade. I think that's that sounds like the Final Fantasy VII. Pretty sure it's Final Fantasy VII. It's a bomb and run, right? Yeah, that's Final Fantasy VII. So what I'm planning to do is just add this here in black, and to add a bit of volume I would just need to adding just plates here. These could be in different colors. I'm just trying to see if they work. If they work, I'll just find the correct color. So basically, it would look like something like this. Still thinking probably I can add something on the side here. But as a simple connection, it works, right? You can see it holds a sword. The sword is attached to the back of the arm. It holds, it works. And if I want to detach the drone will detach. And we'll have the same shape as it is right now. I could add some gribbling here at the side. I'm just thinking the drone would work like this. So the drone itself would be something like this. So it would be something like this, with a small eye that would carry the sword. Right, so it's basically carrying the sword, and we'll do the motions of the attack on itself. And we'll look something like this. So it's basically remote controlling the sword. This build is a bit too thick without any side building. So I'm thinking I could perhaps do something about that. I'm just thinking about what can I do about it. And I think a single 1x1 with a plate could work. Right where the gray is, or something like that. Something like this could work. So it's basically this here at the top, where instead of the gray, if I put this on the side, right now let's just put this as a test, as a single golden plate here. I'm just seeing how it looks. So it's a bit of dribbling and volume to the top shoulder. Okay. It does look, it's starting to look better, in my opinion. But now let's see. Okay, so compared to the design, I made the neck thicker. Still can add some more volume perhaps to it, like a coverage at the back, like putting this like in the top. We'll add some details here. And I still need to add some gribbling to this cloak. But I'm liking it. I'm liking it compared to the one or how it started, or the one that I had at the start. I think I have a photo again of that. I think it's looking good. Let me just get a photo. By the way, while I search for the photo, I'll show you the mech. You take a like the drone. Okay, so I'll take this apart. Basically, it's brick built in the middle, so, and it's just some coverage at the side. Okay, so the sword basically it's composed of let me just take out both sides so I can show you that real quick. This is basically the whole sword. Okay. So what I did is this part, I think it's too bright. Let me see if I can. Okay. Okay, this parts here, these bricks are the ones that come with the, or I don't know where they came from, but I know that the two length, or the length of with the two wide, is the one that's used on the brick heads. Let me show you one. So this is the part that comes with the brick head, and it's the one that you can use to attach and they used to add side building or build on the side of the brick head. This ones, I don't know how they're called, but they're basically those pieces, but in single or single brick width wide. And what I did, let me show you real quick, is that I created, I stacked 4 of those with going with one brick going on different directions. That's how I was able to attach builds to the side. Right? Okay, so let me save the picture. I never have this prepared beforehand when I should. Next time I'll have it prepared beforehand. Okay, so let me just replace this here. And let me find the okay, 1 minute, I'm searching for the picture. I know I downloaded it, but one second. This is 24. This is the one. Okay, so real quick. So this is what we had before, right? Before the stream. And this is what we have now. If you compare it, I think the legs, they look much better. Also, the feet do look better. The head, I think this one's much better in general. I still not convinced about everything, like perhaps this 2 studs. I could probably change that. But it does have a shape I like. For example, like taking out these 2 parts and perhaps replacing them with plates could work better or make it look better. Okay, so that's what I think. But I was explaining the sword. Let me get back to that real quick. So basically, it's 4 rows of this studs, one going on each side, and here, let me take out this real quick. It's one plate of 1x2, a single brick 1x2, another plate, and the same build at the top of 2 more, one going each side. I put a 2x1 clip at the top and an inverted slope here, right, to complete the shape of the sword. So this build, to build on the side, what I did was just using clips. I just made a long string here, or a long build that adds as a shape. It's not super attached, it's just attached to the clips here, but basically the function of it is just add shaping at the back of the sword. Let's put this plate here again. The sword itself, it's connected pretty simple. All it does is again 2 bricks, 2x1 here, a single stud here that represents this, and this piece, this sword, just put an axle and a pin and a clip, this connection, I forgot how it's called. Just put it here, it fits, and adding this as a shaping. And what you do is you put this, you cover this right at the end of this 4x2 plate. This is just basically this part which came, I have seen tons of sets, and I think a single slope in 3x2. I put a 4x1 plate, and this side build is a bit interesting because it's just like a wing, a 6x2 winglet, a 6x1 plate, and at the top it's just plates, different grooving, slope, black slope of the with the 4th length, a single plate 2x1, a single stud in light green like energy, and again 2 more of those energy studs, and a 4x1 round plate. And if you put it again, you put it all together, it looks like an energy great sword, right? I mean, it does have it's quite a looker, right? Oh, thanks, Lunar. I'm glad you like it. Now let me do something real quick here. The connection of the handle, it's a bit strength, because even if it's light and just a single stud, it's more rigid than you would think, and I'll show you why. There's some problem with the music. Let me check it. Okay, so I'm just checking the music real quick. Okay, it'll come back when it comes back. Okay, so as you can see, it took me quite a bit of strength to take it apart, because what it is that this is a single 2x1 with a single stud. I can change the color, I just found that one quicker. And here's the trick. This long pin, it's just this bar. I put this is just greebling, so it's just adding details, but this is the important part. This one by one brick cone, the important is that you balance that the pin is right in the middle. When you connect it this way, with the pin in the middle, you're basically giving it quite a bit of strength. Surprisingly, that holds the entire weight of the sword. Even if you can see, the sword is well built. It's not hollow in the middle. So it's a very strong connection. Surprisingly a strong connection. So that's basically the sword I built for this. And let's attach it back again to this. And let me put it back on the shoulder. I want to test something real quick. This is basically how it looks. This, yep. I'm trying to give it a better angle. right? So it's a similar angle to the belt, but I think it's getting to look, it's starting to look better. I'll add some like a brick here on the leg just to fill this gap. I'll try to find something real quick. Perhaps a single black stud will do that work. Try the black stud here. Just fill the void a bit. And I can perhaps do that on the side. Let's take this. And that, it's quite a bit of an advancement, right? Let's see if I can add plating on this side. So what I was thinking about the plating on the side armor is it has bricks here, and the drawing has like different colors. So let me see what I can do about those type of colors, right? So for example, I have a 4x1 plate in this blue. Let me see what I can find on the pink side. I have another 4x1. Okay, another 4x1. And let me see if I can do. If I find 2x1 plates, I can probably do some gradients with the blue right on the armor, right? So for example, if I find this, if I find 2 blue plates, I'll put on this green, on this blue, I'll be able to build a gradient right on the plating, something like this. So it would go about this. I can take this out just to work on that. It's a mess to work on the whole build. Or you can just take this apart and build it here this way. So I'm trying to find if I can get some of the lighter pink 2x1 plates. So I know I have some of them at home of the lighter, of the, not this light pink, to the one that's in the middle, because I saw them. I was gonna bring them, but I forgot them today. So those are ones that I know for sure I had. I just forgot them. Which is sorry about it. And ideally, let me just put this as placeholders. So ideally, you would get something like this. Like this is basically gradients on the armor. Add random gold platings on the top. You search for gold pieces. Something like this. So it's this is something that I just made real quick, but there are many things that I know I can do better on that. Like for example, this plates, this square plate. If I find 2x1 blacks or slopes, I think I have some here. Well, I have one at least. So if I replace this with this, it has a better shape that provides a better coverage. So what do you think? Let me know. What do you think? How is it turning out? I mean, it's advancing. It's not the fastest build I've ever made, but it's also the first build I've made holding myself, because I usually, when my process when building is, I usually get an idea and I start working on it right away, and it might take me 1 or 2 days or perhaps a week, depending on the amount of work I have, or or the time I have to build on it. But it's a continuous process, so I work on it every day. The difference of how I built that with this is, this time I'm taking my time. So it's been done in the breaks that I do over the week, and it's not like I do not get or have ideas over the breaks, but I just test them, but I don't implement them till the stream. So this is why sometimes I have pieces already laid out, because I have a general idea of what I want to build, but right as I'm building it, I might just change how they look, right? So this would be a better look. Let me put it back on the model. Let's see how it looks. I'd like to add something like a plate here. But perhaps let me just put this back here for the time being. So by standing up, this is how it would look. Just trying to bend the shape and give it the shape I want. So standing up, this is how it will look. Not super convinced about in how it looks, especially on the colors. So I might just go with different, and perhaps that gray here instead of colors. I think it's too colorful at this point, because I don't want it to be super colorful. I just want it to have details of color, and it will have in some points of the build, but not everywhere. Which is why probably adding the color plates there, I don't think that would be a great idea. But plain black doesn't sound fun as well. So I'm thinking about what can I do about that. So basically it would look like this. You know what I'm thinking? It's probably going to need some additional filling here. So I'm probably going to extend this plate to add more plates at the back. And I think it would look even better if I do something like this, which is I take out this entire part and put it here at the back. Just trying to present it and see how it will look. So that it doesn't cover the arm at the top, but it just covers the sides. And at the back, I'm just adding more of a cloak here, right? So we cover more in the back than it would be on the front, which I think is a better look. And probably what I'd like to add, I don't know if you see it, is add more here at the back, something like here at the back that covers it. Something like that, looking fun. Something like this. This is of course not final, it's just so you can see what I mean. So adding volume here in the back, something like some sort of plate covering here in the back. Again, I'm just testing, so none of this is final, but I'm just testing ideas. Something that, together with this, something that would cover more of this part. That would have like a cloak covering the back of the head, but just covering one side. But in armor. So I'm thinking about how can I do that. Not just a simple plate, but something more built. Like as you can see at the front, perhaps you can see it gives a better look in general. So that's probably my next step. What I'm probably going to build next. And I'm thinking of ways of how to do that without affecting too much of the design. Right? So I'm searching for perhaps pieces like this. This will provide a bit like a cover, a curved shaped cover. And if I add something like this, oh, this is too wide for what I wanted. Because this is eight studs, which is this is the length. It's too wide, so it cannot be 8 studs of length. It has to be 4. That's the correct length. No, it has to be 6, not 4. 6. So if I start with a 4 base, I have 2 plates here together. Just 1. Let me see if I find some 2 by 2 slopes. Can probably have the correct shape. I'm just searching here. But not in gray. I'm not searching for in gray. Let me search for them in black. And at the end, what I want to do is I want to have I wanted to have like a good overall shape, but I don't know how to describe that process. Let me try to explain. Let me try to explain what's the problem that I have with the current design, right? So the head, I like the head, but the head being too big by itself. I like the idea of the thin waist, but I don't like the pointiness of the shoulder backs, and then the shoulders are taller than the chest. But being as that is the or knowing that that's the build, what I could do to fix that is probably add volume here. So something that makes it, I mean, I think I have something to draw and perhaps I can explain to you better. Right, so let me take back this. So on the main design, you see that there's this part comes together with the neck, right? So perhaps adding something like volume here at the back will make it have like this sort of shape at the top of the body. This is the arm and this is the head. Have a continuous shape. But of course this being the head and the head being here and the shoulders being like this. This is of course not exact, I'm just doing a quick sketch to show you what I mean. And this is the part that I want to create a filler, something that completes the shape. So this is the part I'm actually going to try to build a filler at the back. So it has like a continuous shape. That's probably what I want to add. That's what I'm thinking could work. And like I said, probably a 6 stud long build is the way to go. Let me take back this going and put this back here. And I'm taking just this part. So I can build something real quick, real simple here. Okay, so it's just a curved with a 6x2 base, a 4x2 plate, just a 4x1, 2 of those slopes, and a single slope of 1x2. In a way that if I put it here, it still needs work, but it creates the shape that I was telling you about. So it's a connection between the width of the arms and the back of the head. Something like this. Yes. So I know now what you mean with that time. I was just thinking that when I built the cover or the extended neck, it would look better, but it just not, because I actually built both shoulders bigger at the top than I planned originally. So now I have to build some coverage for the neck part. Something that creates a volume, a sort of volume like explained. But yeah, Cobalt, I think you were right, and I just was not correct in the fact that I thought it was going to look different, that it ended up looking, so I have to build something to complement that, right? So let me try something real quick. let me take out this build, and I'm going to change it quite drastically, because I'm going to actually change it so that it has one way down here, and it goes this way. And I can actually replace this, sorry, I was not showing, this build with perhaps some ball joints, if they don't end up looking like I want them to. But the thing is, I want it to look something like a cloaked with a shoulder, a wide shoulder span. But now I'm facing a problem. I don't know if you can see the problem I'm referring to. I just create a blockage for the sword right here at the back. So that's not good. So I have to kind of rebuild this shoulder. But I do like the way it's looking with this at the back. So I don't think I'm gonna end up changing that. What I might end up changing is the design on at the back of the arm, right? Because right now I'm blocking this, which is the connection to the drone at the back of the sword. So it will not connect this way. Unless I get creative. And I could perhaps keep both by doing something real cool. So this build, what about if I make it so that it can bend? Let me show you what I mean. I'm searching for 2x1 black dual clip. Okay, I found it. Yes, I know what you mean, but again, I just built this part real quick just to test if the shape was correct. But now I have to add some functionality to it, which is what I'm trying to work right now. So for example, I'll do something like this. I think I need another 3. I'll just separate this brick here. Yeah, but this is constant part of when you're adding details. This is why perhaps finishing the mech is the hardest part, because this is where you actually start getting ideas and seeing how you can replace them and how to work around everything. So now, okay, this moves but doesn't move at the same time. So it's not going to work perfectly. How about if I'm thinking about how can I make this move up so I can move this way, but if there's no sword, it can go back to cover this. I think I have an idea. If I put something like this here, this, going back, but if I do this way, this, in theory, should work. When there's no sword, it would look like this, right? I'll check this silhouette. Okay, main silhouette is it's a bit taller than I would like to, but again, nothing that cannot be fixed. Probably I don't need this part. This extender I don't need probably. This is how it would look like without the sword. But if I did this, I'm actually creating space on the back for the sword. It does attach. This is how it looks. Let me try to change that, you know, bigger. So this is ideally how it goes, right? So I think I have to make some modifications. I'm using ball joints here, but so let me test this. So this is the silhouette. I still have to do some work on this side, but this side I think it's easier because this one is it involves putting something big in the back. So right now the sword is there, and the connection is here, right? So if I take the sword out and I just put this back here, I return this silhouette to like a cloaking thing, and it would look better when the sword is out. So in theory, that's something I'm planning on. So I'm thinking about, let me go back to the other camera. So now it has the look. And if I, for some reason, take this out, now it has a bigger difference on one side. But ideally, it shouldn't take out the cloak. If I take out the cloak, I should take just this part and leave this. So the cloak, if it's going to be out, it's going to be taken out from the, not from the top. So I do have to perhaps build something here to fill this spaces. Which could be done with pieces like this ones. So if I add something here at the top like this, I could give a shape. Right now I'm just testing shapes in general, seeing how that works out. Number one. I do have some here. But yeah, Cobalt, I think you had the correct idea last week. I was just confident that confidence without reason about me being able to fill that when I know I wouldn't be able to. So I'm just trying to find a way to create the shape while still being mechanically able to do something like this. So if I do this, basically I have to do this differently. So in theory, this could work. This shapes up, this comes up, but this is too much. So we need different shape. Hi, sweetheart. Kiss to you. That's my wife joining. So this is not totally filled, but if you look at it from the back, it's filled. But if you push it, it moves, correct? So it goes to create the shape, the space for the sword. But when the sword is not there, it goes back to build the full shape. And if I do this, by the way, let me love you too. Okay, so if I put this here, or something like this. This might not be the correct piece for this. It's too wide. It goes up, and I don't want it to go up. So I'm searching for something that connects. Okay, 1 second. I'm taking out this clip. It's tougher than it looks. What do you think, Cobalt? Do you think this mechanical solution works for you? Okay, I'm searching for checking that link. 1 minute. Okay, it's opening the link. Give me a second. Yeah, I know. So basically creating something at the back that works like a backpack, right? It could be going down from this build. But the thing is, I still have to consider the space for the sword on this side. So a solution like this one is still going to be needed. Something that clears this space like this, so that I can still attach the sword here, right? So this kind of works in the sense that it gives the space. I don't know if you can see it. Let me just take this out so I can move around freely. So if I attach it here, okay, I force the attachment. So you can see the sword Oh yeah, so I can build going back here and create something like a cloak. That I like that idea, but I had to design something like this. So the thing is, it has to create this space for the sword, and once the sword is no longer there, it has to go back, right? And we'll maintain the shape, same as the other side. It's just a small build. What I'm not happy is about this. This probably I'll take it out. I'm not happy about that. Or probably do something different to give the shape, the continuation of the shape. But I like the concept of this being able to move and release this. So that I can probably this is the best angle for everyone to see this. Right? So it releases the space for the sword here. Yes. So yes, it's not full gesture. Because I want to take parts of the of a gesture, but I want to give it more like you said, something like this could be piloted by someone that's wealthy, right? So I want to have that royal regal look that I do want it to have. So a big cloak or a big shape at the shoulders works in favor of that. But like you said, it has making it look like perhaps you were part of a masquerade party in Venice or something like that. Yes, I'm thinking about the problem about keeping the shoulders like you said is that each shoulder is different because one's going to hold the cloak and the other one's going to hold the sword. So they each have different functionalities and different, so ergo different shapes. What I can do is something like you indicated, like a cloak or something that goes right here on the chest that follows the silhouette, which is basically what I'm trying to achieve here, because each shoulder is different. And if I add right now, I don't want to lose, for example, this arm moves more, it can move separate more from the body just because it has this pyramid here at the top, which this arm can lost that ability once I put this lock in the back. And those are compromises that I'm not sure I can take out or remove from the build. I'm still thinking, because I probably can change the entire lock of the sword on that side. I can probably do that. I can also just go ahead and remove this. Let me take this part out. And instead of doing this as it is right now, could just end up doing something like this. Let me show you. But for that, I'm also going to need another connection. And let me check out the music. Okay, well, that's checking out the music. I'm going to start building the other idea. the symphony. So I probably saw something like this. It's for some reason downloading the music. I can just go with something like this, which is more simple, right? I can do some coverage here and perhaps add a cloak that flows from here. That's not working. Yeah, I like that. And I get it. I can probably, I know what you mean. And ideally, what I could try to do is try to keep both shoulders closest to each other in shape, and perhaps build what you're referring to. So something like perhaps adding the same shape right and this part, and it differs on the outside of the shoulder, which is probably something like this one. So this being mobile in both sides allows me to give it an even better shape, an even curver shape, and it's an even simpler build, right? So the only thing I would have to check is this one needs to go up all the way, right? So if I put a plate here, a 2x2 plate, I mean, yes, in theory, this is nothing more than something that carries this blade. So these blades in theory detach. So in theory, they should just come off this way. And what you're left is this. Let me show you this attach. So in theory, once the blades are detached, you're left with something like this. This is why probably I'm not super happy with this middle part. And that's why I want to change perhaps a ball joint. So this will end up looking like something like this. So it's going to be clear and the blades are in theory detached. Like remember when the first drawing we made that you said that the blades are detached, like to be used as weapon or shields. So once it starts fighting, they detach and you're only left with this part, which is why I want to rework this entire part to keep the flow of this shape at the middle. So I have to work on something to fill this gap at the back. And that's probably what I'm going to change with ball joints, so it can go up. So it can go up this way. And it can cover this like so. And by covering it this way, in a diagonal manner, it will continue this shape. You see? And the other side, I have to work on just adding something or a better shape here. So I have to rework this entire connection to the blade. In theory, this works, but it doesn't have the best shape. So I have to think of something that has some sort of grip and connects sturdily to the arm, but it has a better shape. So I have to work on that. Let me see if I can work on adding the ball joint there. I think I can do that right now. If I can find the ball joint. Here. So I'm going to use this simple connection, which is this. Let me put it here and see how it works real quick. Perhaps lower this a bit so it looks even better. Okay, let me put this real quick just so I can test that. Because what I'm trying to achieve here is shape, a better silhouette. So right now this won't work simply because of this, unless I change it to be a different way. So if it goes to the back, and this one covers here, it kind of halves the shape, right? So I would just have to work on getting it better in some ways. A little better. Right now it's better filled. So it could be just 3 plates, something like this. Of course I have to change this to be a sturdy connection. Right now it's just too fragile, because it's just connected to the pins at the top. So if I do this and connect it, this would have to be a totally different connection. So it would have to be something like this. Okay, let me fix that, because every time I move it, it's coming off. So I have to find a better connection to that, or it's going to drive me crazy. I'm not able to do any work with it. Okay, so if I do this simple connection here, technically I'm holding it. So it's not bad, it actually looks feathery. So it's let me show you with the front cam. Okay, so as it is right now, it looks kind of feathery, right? And continues the shape of the back part, and it still has the blades. And from at the front, it still kind of looks like a cloak. I still have to do something to dress it better, like something to cover it this way. I don't know, I'm just putting things here. And something to cover it this side, and perhaps this. Something like this, or something better. But the thing is, overall, keeping the round shape at the thicker neck, But I do like this feathery aspect. I like it more than the other design because basically it's like it's a cloak that's overflowing to the back, but in a very separate shape, like it was a like if it was a wing that was folded at the back with big feathers. You know? What do you think? Do you like it at all? That way? Or this way, sorry. I'm still thinking. Okay, so this stud that's holding here the connection doesn't have the best grip at all. I probably have to change that. Let me try something real quick. Bring this here, attaching it here. What was it? This way. Put in the blade. And present it at the front and see how it looks. So something like this. Hi, Sato. So do you see it now? So it's looking, wait, okay. So I still have to figure out a better connection for the sword because right now it's still too heavy for a single stud, which is all that's connecting it to the shoulder, right? But let me present it in a better way. Do you see how it has a clock here, or a shape that's rounded that comes all the way here, and has the feathery aspect at the back with the three blades that work as a cloak and right. And if you take it out, basically converts and has that. So these are what I consider happy accidents in the fact that it's not what I originally planned for, but I'm not totally unhappy with that, right? I found the 3 by 1. I'm not totally unhappy with how it's come, and it's a different shape than one we originally designed, but it has its charm. Hey Sato, by the way, looking at it as it is now and as it was before the stream, you have the picture there. What do you think of the changes we made? Let me just try to put it in a similar fashion so you can see it. And this is the sword next to it. Just put in the drone here. is like the drawing. So this is the basic parts, right? What do you guys think? How is it looking? I like the general shape that it's getting, which is, so it has the thin legs. I like that. Always like that. That's the what I call the Son of Ender. My homage to Son of Enders. It has the gradient in. I think I like it more with this shoulder design. And I like the shapes, the shape that this three outlets being all spread out, but in a good pattern, give it a nice shape at the back. So overall, it's a better silhouette than the one I drew, because the one I drew was, it's just too floppy at the side. This one has a more dynamic shape. Yes, I believe so. The head, it's much better this way. Of course, I think I have to change this for plates, just that it has a more rigid, or perhaps add some details here at the top, which I'm still thinking. And the width of the head is still good. The chest is a bit thicker in general, but the shoulders were the biggest change here, because, or at least this shoulder here. I removed the front cover, and the back ones are now in this like gradient shape, like it was a folded wing. That's like the cloak. This in theory detach. They still detach to work as floating blades. And when they are detached, like so, they still it still holds the main shape of the shoulder here. The only thing, to be honest, that I don't like, but I don't think how I can change it, is that these gray, if it was black, it would look much better. It's the only thing I would change. And I'm probably going to add some filler here lower, like perhaps making it a cloak, like you said in the drawing. That's probably what I can change, and it's probably what I'll change. But I cannot add too much build here, because if I do so, I lose this. So this is it. If I open it, the cockpit, I still need some space for it to do this. So I can open this part and take out the pilot. If I don't give space to do that, it will, I mean, I might as well remove the cockpit, because I won't allow the pilot to open or to get out. As it is right now, it is quite simple to open. You can get out, you can get the pilot out, quite simple, quite easy. See? So ease of access to the pilot is also something that I'm still considering. But it doesn't look bad. I mean, it kind of works. But I think I'm gonna leave and gonna take this as a homework, because I have a few things that I want to test and I want to check. So I'm gonna take some homework, and let me tell you real quick. I think we're much closer to finishing it than we thought before, because we advanced a ton today. So my homework for next stream on Saturday, I'm going to try to figure out how to guise this better and this shoulder and make it try to see if it works even better. I'm going to try to see if I can rework this top shoulder and have a stronger way to hold this the butt that will hold the sword. That's probably what I'm thinking. But the thing is, the thing that moves it up. Yeah, I know what you mean. Perhaps put it lower here and just cover it up here. That's probably what I'll end up doing. So that's, but I do like the shape it has. That new shape that we wore. Yes, that's probably what I'm going to work on. So reworking the top shoulders while maintaining the silhouette that we added. Checking out and see if this. I still think the head needs some rework. Not too much because I kind of like the shape, but I did like the coloring here at the top, at the bottom. So perhaps I can change that. I'm probably going to see if I can add that in a different way. So that's another thing I want to add. And a little perhaps little gribbling here at some ports. But in general, I like it quite a lot. It's coming out real good. And I think, if my estimations are correct, which they never are, but it's good to have an idea, I think we can finish this in 2 streams. I don't think one. I'm not confident to do it in 1, but in 2 streams, I think we can get it done in 2 streams. So probably next Wednesday. I like that. I like that a lot. And and one of the things I noticed is that, okay, I like how it is now, but as you can see in the photo, the gradients look way better in photos. They are very photogenics. Especially the knee and the arm ones, they look really great on photos. So that's something good. But yeah, yeah, we'll continue on next stream on Saturday, and we'll get closer to finishing this. I honestly, even if, okay, I can always be wrong, but I'm honestly thinking that we can finish this in 2 more streams. But but I do want to thank you so much for joining me, and like I said, your input on this has been amazing, because it's great to hear ideas that perhaps I didn't come with them, or didn't come up with those, and I wouldn't, a bit, tiny bit. But the only reason why I'm getting ambitious is because you have helped me a lot, quite a lot, on this. So I'm not alone on this. I'm with you guys, or gals, or you people, and that gives me confidence. So that's why I say, if we keep working on this together, I'm sure we can finish it on 2 streams. So it's an ambitious, it's ambition coming out from well, it's born out of confidence of me being able to work with you. Does it sound better that way? Also, I'm trying to see if I can get a haircut from here to then, because it's been a long time since I've gotten a haircut. So I mean, my hair is quite long as it is right now. Usually I'm using a ponytail, but I forgot one today, so my hair is just loose. I'll try to get a haircut for next stream. That's a side note, that's outside of building, but it's something I want to do. Yes, I mean, I need to reinforce them, but as they are now, they are reinforced. I just need to find new clips, but as they are now, the problem is this clip. This clip it's too loose, so it doesn't hold that part too strong. But as it is right now, I can stand it quite fast. And sorry to wobble the table, I just want to show you that it's quite stable. So the feet, even if they are thin as they are right now, they're quite sturdy, because by adding these pieces here, it's holding this connection together, and this how did you smooth? I mean, what's the scale of the car? Is it, what's the width scale? Is it 8 studs or 6 stud? So because how can you make? I mean, hi there. I Hi. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. As you can see, I'm just finishing today's stream, but thank you so much for following. I should. Yes, surprisingly, even if they're small. Okay, so this feet has problems because all the pieces have low friction. So this one I have just had to replace a piece, but this one has good friction, right? In both sides. So the advantage of this is, even if you don't see it, it has a very straight line, and this provides good support at the top, and this provides good support at the back. So as it is, it holds the weight and provides some stability. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Um, so it's 14 studs wide, the car. I mean, when you're working on a model that big, 14 studs, something like this, right? I mean, you can always try to find a smooth way. So I believe you can find, you found a way, because it becomes harder once you work in a smaller scale. So if you work on a smaller scale, that's when shaping becomes quite difficult, because you depend on the shape of pre-made pieces. But on that scale, if you found a way, I'm pretty sure that it's gonna look great. How about this? This is a promise. Send me in a whisper your car model, and we'll check it out next stream. I'll put the photo here, and we can check it out. Right? Sounds good. That way I can know. Well, if you're comfortable. Well, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But if you want to, perhaps we can check it out and see what your build, and check it. I'm pretty sure it's amazing. I just want to see it and see how it's coming through, and yeah, I find that good that we can check it out and perhaps discuss it here on stream if you want to, right? By the way, is your name Jair Garcia? And the two last ones are yes, right? Like in Spain, on Spanish. Jair Garcia, right? Am I reading correct? Took me a while, but because if you don't know, I speak Spanish, so it's my. Okay, so you're working on the limitation of a set, just working with the pieces of a set like the one you showed me. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sure. Share it with me, and we can check it on the next stream. Yes, and I believe one of the smaller builds I made that I actually liked quite a lot was when I built what was it? It was a small mech, but it was from a movie. Well, it's actually a manga first, and then it was a movie. Was it? Um, I forgot the name of the anime or slash manga, but it's where it's Briarios is come. It's from. Let me search for that. Briarios. That's from. Let me find. Let me search for that real quick. Uh, but yeah, that build was quite small. It's from Appleseed. That if you haven't checked Appleseed, it doesn't have the greatest animes, but the story itself, the background of the story is good, and the mechs are amazing. So check Appleseed. I remember I made one of the mechs from Appleseed, and that scale it's pretty tough because it's quite small. It has to be a minute figure, but it's two times the size of a minute figure. Let me find it. Oh, I mean, it's good that when you search Lego Appleseed, the the image that comes by with the first mech is it's my design. I'm quite happy about that. Of course, it could also be just Google doing that. Let me share that real quick. Okay, so this is what I made quite a long time ago. That's actually not on this is not my set of pictures. But these are. Let me give me 1 second. And my battery, the battery of my mouse died. It's gonna be make it a bit complicated. So this is actually a build I made uh, quite a while ago. It's the landmate. So that landmate, um, it took me quite a while to figure out because when you build smaller, the shape of each piece counts, and the fact that there's the landmates themselves, the thing that they have is that the feet, the pilot feet are actually on the top part of the feet of the mech. So I could not do that. But what I could do is just create like a pocket in the middle. Okay, so yeah, I still, like I said before, I need to work on my internet connection because when I'm streaming, everything goes down. That's why I have to be quite late because I have to. Nobody else has to be on the office. Um, it's something I need to actually work on increasing. But yes, this mech is quite small. It still fits the minifigure inside, and it's just a matter of getting the correct shape. So that one took me quite a while to design, even with what's small, right? So it's okay. I can show you the picture next week because it's just taking too long. Uh, but yeah, the scale you build makes it even harder or simpler. Now, building in bigger scales has the drawbacks that, of course, you have to get or need more pieces to fill this space. So nothing's perfect. You always have drawbacks and setbacks, no matter what. So it's just different problems, but you always have kind of things to work around. But yeah, like I said, it took me longer than I thought. But thank you for joining. This is the end of the stream for today. Like you said, two streams more might be. I mean, not being optimistic. We might take two, but yeah, in reality, it might be three, perhaps even more. But thank you so much for joining, and have a great week. I'll see you around. See you again on Saturday / Sunday, depends, right? But yeah, thank you. Bye.